Hello everybody, this is Mr. McKeever, ready for our second installment of How to Use Microsoft Excel. You may notice some relaxing music in the background. I figure that will add a little bit of extra specialness to these wonderful videos. So today we are going to go ahead and work on formatting a worksheet and all the different stuff that you can do with it. So if you will go to the beautiful Moodle page, you'll see this wonderful section called Excel Lesson Workbooks, which we've seen before. And this time we are actually going to go to the ETry for Excel sheet. Click on that guy, open it up, and magically it'll appear in front of you. But this is kind of a boring little spreadsheet right here. What is cool about it though is we get to talk about candy today, and candy is fantastic. But I would like to make one quick adjustment to the spreadsheet. Nobody eats toffee bars anymore. They're kind of disgusting. So let's replace it with kind of the greatest candy ever. And I'm pretty sure everyone would agree would be the peanut butter cup. Let's be truthful, folks. Reese's are pretty fantastic. So let's go in here and replace all of our toffees with our peanut butter cups. Chocolate almond bars, not exactly my thing, but I can understand someone liking those. And same with the mint bar. I don't really know if there is a piece of candy called the mint bar, but hey, if you want to, props to you. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to play around with something we've never touched before, and that is a theme. So if you go up here to page layout, you can actually introduce a theme to your page. And there are quite a few themes as you can scroll down and see all the different options you have to play around with. But we're just going to scroll through this real quickly. Notice as we highlight over each one, the actual fonts and their sizes change a little bit. So let's choose one of these. Let's go with the essential one over here. You notice that everything looks simple, life is easy. Well, let's try a different one. I'm just going to grab a different one. We're going to scroll through these again. I'm kind of feeling, let's go with the Civic one. That looks like an interesting font. Let's go ahead and choose it. You'll notice your fonts have changed again. But what you might also notice is some of your entries have been cut off a little bit. So we want to go in there and we're going to go and resize each of those columns to make sure anything that is cut off fits again. Beautiful. After you've done this wonderful step, we're going to go ahead and do what we should do whenever we work on an Excel document and go ahead and save it. We're going to go ahead and save it just like we did before as your last name, underscore, and then whatever lesson it is. This is ETry 4. Save it in your computer folder, which I really do hope that you actually have already, because if you do not, that is extraordinarily sad. I actually have one of these already. I am going to replace it though, and I have this beautiful McKeever ETry 4. Hopefully all of you actually do know how to spell your last name at this point, otherwise that would be a little bit upsetting, but you know, we'll work with it. Once you've achieved this beautiful set that you have right here with our wonderful theme that we have created, we're going to go ahead and do a little bit more formatting with it. We want to add some color to life. So go ahead and select B through F2 up here. And as you can see, this is really kind of boring. It's in black and white. So let's add some color, just like you would add color in Microsoft Word. If you go over here to the fill, you have a ton of different options to play around with. If you're paying attention to the book, it will actually have you use this really interesting red accent one, but personally I think that color is kind of hideous. So we're not going to. So we're going to choose a much more appealing color. How about this one over here, the light blue? Bigger fan of blue than I am of whatever that freakish red color is. So we choose our beautiful light blue and life is great. What's important though, we're going to come to this in a few minutes. Whatever color you choose for that first color you introduce is going to be the way everything else is kind of designed to fit. We like to have matching color themes in Excel, and that's how everything kind of plays out. Alright, next on our agenda list is we're actually going to change the color down here too. This is the total of all of our sales, and you notice there'll be a beautiful equation right up here in the formula bar. We'll talk about how to insert all that stuff later, because really this is a less than exciting formula. We can come up with a much better one later on. But go ahead and click right here, and you will notice that you have the opportunity to then change the font again and change the color. We're going to go ahead and make it green. We're going to make it green for a reason. Whenever you do accounting stuff, if something is in the green, that means it's a positive number, and if something is in the red, that means it's a negative number. And since we're doing a little bit of math when it comes to selling some candy here, we do have a positive amount of stuff that we're looking at. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to play around up here, and we want to make our titles look a lot better. And we're going to do something we have done before, and that is introduce the cell styles. Because look at all these beautiful options. And all of these options are designed to fit with the color that we chose before. And we're going to use some of these. So let's go ahead and decide to use this yellow one. Not the world's biggest fan of yellow, but why not? We can do whatever we want to. Let's click on this yellow option over here, and you notice all of these up here will eventually change to that yellow. Well, what you also might notice is that some of our columns don't exactly look like they fit all that well anymore. So let's go ahead and fix that. Readjust any columns that you need to make them fit. And we're in good shape. Now that's a little bit more spiffy and happy, don't you think? Alright, next thing we're going to do is do a little bit more cell styling down here. Go over here, back to cell styles, and we're going to make this our total. Because it actually is a total. Again, refit anything that needs to be refit. And you'll actually notice here that we have some lines that are pre-formatted into this. But you can't see all of it because when we have our color here, anything that interrupts with our color scheme will actually be overridden by the color. There are some tiny little lines, but you really just can't see it. They're just itty bitty baby small. Alright, once we've done that, we've done all the cell styling you need to do. We're going to play around with making some of the rest of this look good. Alright, next, if you notice, our beautiful title up here is kind of pathetic. So we're going to make it a little bit better, and we're going to teach you how to do a few things here at once. First, we're just going to change the size of the font. If you're actually following along with the book, they decide to use Arial Black, but let's be truthful, Arial Black is a pretty pathetic and lame font, so we're going to replace it with something better. Personally, I do like a good Baskerville Old Face, but we're going to go on down here, and I'm going to choose one of my other favorite ones, which is Bookman Old Style. So if you go ahead and choose that, again, the font changes. Nothing too exaggeratingly awesome there. But let's go ahead and make it big, too. So let's go to size 24. It looks much more like a normal title now. Life is pretty good. But if you notice, we have 5 different cells here, and that's just not cool. So last time we talked about a long way to go ahead and merge cells. So you can go to Format over here, and Life is Simple. But in reality, there's a much easier way to do it. And that's what we're going to do right now. If you have everything you wanted to merge ready, you can just go up to Merge and Center here, click it, and boom, now we have one single merge cell. Everything else is built into that, and it looks a lot better. And it centers it, which makes our lives a little bit easier too. The next thing we're going to merge is actually right down here in cells B13 through E13. So select those 4 cells there. And again, we're going to merge and center them. And we notice we have one long cell now. But you also notice our formatting disappeared. So we're going to have to go back over here to our cell styles and again choose total for that. So our lines come back and fit everything else we've done. Now this makes this entire row look like it's dedicated to a single number, which it is, and that's exactly what we want to do. Once we're done with that, now we just have to prove that all of these numbers actually mean something. So what I would like you to do is go ahead and choose cell D5. You notice that's supposed to be a price, and typically prices have something, like a dollar sign or something attached to them. So let's go ahead and do that. If you go over here, these are all the different number formats that you have, and you have a huge drop-down list of what you can do. For this case, this is supposed to be dollars and cents, so we're going to choose currency. If you notice, hey, look, magically a dollar sign appears in front of all of these. Over here in F5, we're going to do something similar, but a little bit different. Let's go over here again to our number formats and choose accounting. This is different. If you notice, the dollar sign is a little bit farther forward. It's a slight difference in the formatting because right here we're looking at the price of a single thing. This is a set of accounting numbers that you have down here, and we're going to keep it that way. So for the rest of total sales, select all of them and choose accounting. And then for the rest of the prices, select all of those and choose the currency. The last one you notice we need is our full total of everything, which if we follow our themes would also be an accounting number right there. Let's make sure all of our sizes look good. Life is great, beautiful. The last thing we're going to do then is make sure that we have all of our formatting for our pages right, and that's going to include in giving us a header and a footer. So go over to the Insert tab. Let's go to Header and Footer here. On the left side, let's go ahead and put your name. Again, hopefully you spell it. If you can't, that makes me cry for the future. And the middle one, we're going to have you go ahead and put the current date. And on the right side over here, we're going to go ahead and have you put the page number. Isn't this all beautiful now? It's going to give you the real date. It's going to give you the real page number. Oh, this is just one beautiful spreadsheet. Once you go back, click your normal view again. Hopefully the normal view button actually works. You know, if it doesn't, that's unfortunate. And then we're going to go ahead and save everything again. Once you have saved, we've actually accomplished everything we needed to do here. So you're going to go ahead and take this and you're going to drop it in back on the Moodle page. We go back to this beautiful Moodle page created for this class. Oh, look at that Google Calendar, it's just fantastic. So pretty. You're going to go ahead and drop this in the Excel Dropbox for Excel Lesson 4. That'll be sitting here in roughly 10 minutes because I forgot to create it before I created this video. And on that note, you're lastly going to complete Project 7 in your guys' book. Complete that for the end of class, and you have the rest of the time to work on your real-life project. Have a wonderful day, guys, and I'll see you in class. Bye-bye.